If you file your taxes as 1099 as opposed to a W-2 employee and you're trying to buy a house within the next year or two, listen up. It's really important that you do not try to write everything off as expenses and make it look like you made a significantly lower amount of money than you actually made. I know, I get it. I'm 1099. You want to save on taxes. I understand. My best advice is just set some money aside. Our tax agent usually recommends that we put aside 20% of our profit, of our income. And this year we actually went the route of making payments to the IRS on a quarterly throughout the year, so that we wouldn't have that lump sum bill at the end of the year. However you do it, understand that if you're writing everything off and you're making it seem like you're not making money at the end of the year, it makes you less bankable, meaning that it may be very difficult for you to get financing for your home purchase. So that's why I'm talking to those of you that are thinking about buying a house within the next year or two. And I'm sure this applies to other large purchases too. The way that if you're gonna go the traditional mortgage loan route for a personal loan, for a personal home loan, which is what you're gonna want to do, because it's gonna have better terms. You're gonna have a lower down payment requirement. You're gonna have lower reserves, down payment and reserves requirements. That's the route that you're gonna wanna go. The way that your income is calculated for 1099 is very different than if you were a W-2 employee. They are going to take your last 2 years of taxes. They're going to add it all together and they're going to average your income. That is the income that you are going to get qualified based off of. So for example, let's say that you only made $25,000 net in year one. So after all expenses, you're claiming that you only made $25,000 for the year. And then in year two, you ended up making, let's say $50,000. They're going to add that together. So we're gonna end up at what, $75,000 total. And then I'm trying to do math in my head and I'm driving. What's half of 75? Oh my gosh. So half of 75, wait, I'm gonna get this. About 38-ish? Yeah, more or less. I think. I don't know. Check my math later. I use my calculator too much. Anywho, that's what you're gonna get qualified for. So did you guys see how all of that insecurity just like flooded me? Yeah, I use my calculator a lot. I promise I know what I'm doing, but I do use my calculator to double check on my work. Anywho, that's the number that you're gonna get qualified for. And so it's not like when you're W-2. If you're W-2, the nice thing is, like, if you get a promotion today and all of a sudden you get a pay increase, we get to use that pay increase. I think they need to see one pay stub with the new pay amount, but that's pretty much it. It's not the same for 1099. For 1099, they want to average out your last 2 years. So I just say that to say that if you are working as filing your taxes on the 1099 status and you're trying to buy a home within the next year or two, don't write everything off. Don't write everything off, because you're not going to be happy with the amount that you get pre-qualified for once everything is said and done. You know, I know it's difficult out, but be disciplined, put money aside, you know, be ready for tax season come the beginning of the season. And no judgment, guys. My tax history has been up and down, and thank God for the wonderful husband that he's given me, because he's really helped me get on track and stay on track with my taxes, like really and truly. That's all him. Do what you got to do. I want you to get that new house. You deserve it. You earned it. You work hard for it. But don't write everything off, or else you're not going to get qualified for very much. I hope that helps. As always, I love you guys. And remember, smart moves plus strategic investments equal rich rewards. Talk to you soon.